Hey everybody, I'm Monty, and Channel 5 is reporting that the most popular ethnic food is Italian food, followed by Mexican food, and then third is Chinese food. I don't know if I believe that because it seems like people really rock with Chinese food, but that is what I found out. I have a guest with me as well. She's going to share her fact. Go ahead.
My fun fact is that I can't go to bed without lip gloss on. I can't go anywhere without lip gloss on, for that matter. So that is my fun fact. I don't know if that's what you're looking for, but
Any fun fact works. What's up, gang? We are back. All right. I told y'all we coming with shows. All right. Appreciate the love. Our third show back. I need to do like these other podcasts and Charlie. I'm gonna make one of the young folks count every podcast I've did so I can start numbering them because I can't remember what number this officially is, but it's the third of the season. We're back and we back with one of our close friends of the show, Miss Angie Perrin. Angie, how you doing?
I am feeling great. How are you doing? That's the question.
I'm doing I'm doing good. I'm doing good. And man, we have a specific topic. I've told y'all this show, I don't like to talk about celebrity gossip and all things like that. That's not what this show is. But when there's a hot topic, when there's a topic that kind of just everybody is kind of talking about, even we'll get to that in a minute, but this topic that we're talking about now, everybody has something to say about it. It's still being talked about as of now. And so I'll pose it if you didn't know. I'll just set it up very quickly if you didn't know. There was a video made. And the validity of it is kind of debated too. Was it real, or was it kind of fabricated? But either way, it spawned a discussion. And there was a woman sitting in a car, and she was in the passenger seat, and there was a gentleman that was going to it seemed he was like, okay, he was getting out of the car and he's walking around, and she had a video going. And once he got out of the car, she kind of got in close and was like, y'all, I am not getting out of this car basically because we're at the Cheesecake Factory and I will not walk in the Cheesecake Factory on no date. And apparently we were on a first date. So when he gets around to open the door, she refused to get out of the car. And then he was like, oh, okay. And so then he got back in his car and he kind of talked about it. And she was basically like, a person that looks like me does not go to, she don't take to the Cheesecake Factory and all this and all that. And this started a firestorm online, and a lot of people had some things to chime in. And so basically the question is the Cheesecake Factory an acceptable place to take somebody on a first date? So let's start just with that question there. First of all, is it acceptable, Angie? And then would you go on it? Like you could say, is it just generally acceptable? And then would you go on a first date to somebody to the Cheesecake Factory?
Absolutely. It is absolutely acceptable for a first date to be at Cheesecake Factory. Even if you're not a huge Cheesecake Factory fan, they have expanded their menu.
Yeah.
Where if you can't get with certain things, they have appetizers, they have soups, salads, whatever, or even just the ambiance of it. It's still a nice chain restaurant. I'm a little disappointed in this lady because I feel like she is the way that she pulled out her phone and tried to make it seem like we all were going to agree with her and that this was acceptable behavior was so embarrassing. Like, I'm embarrassed. So yeah, to answer your question, I went off on a tangent. That's an absolutely acceptable first date.
I know, and we're going to get to that. So I'll give mine. I feel like it is an acceptable date, and I would take somebody there. And here's the caveat, because people always say first date you should, and then we won't get into coffee dates and all that. But my thing is this: I said this to somebody. I said, well, if I met somebody on Thursday and really like we ran into each other at Target, and I really liked them, they look nice, they seem like a nice person, and I asked them out like on Saturday. You see what I'm saying? So I met them Thursday, took them out on Saturday, or even if that next Thursday. That's such a small window to get to know the person. So I would take you to Cheesecake Factory because I don't even know what kind of food you probably like. So it's a big menu. There's a lot of things to choose from. If I got to know you better and maybe you just kind of said, man, I love Asian food. Okay, bet. I would take you to the Asian place. But Cheesecake Factory is safe, I feel like. Because I want you to have a good time. I want to have a good time. They got plenty to choose from. You like sushi, you like steak, you like shrimp. I think it's really safe. And I feel like, Angie, agree with me to me, especially going on the first date, it is about getting to know the person, I feel like.
I'm so glad you said that, because the root of the word date is like data. You're there to collect information.
Okay.
And
All
I
right.
feel like I feel like the dating world now, they say there's pee in the dating pool. And it's not, I don't subscribe to that, but I do think we've kind of gotten out of the intention of what a date is. That's to collect information. And she's so busy trying to capitalize on, it sounds like she just wants a free meal, a nice free meal at that. And she's not even interested in getting to know him. And I think as long as that conversation piece is good at dinner, it really shouldn't matter where he takes you, as long as it's not like a bar or it's not at his house, that would be an unacceptable first date. But again, what's your purpose? What's your intent? And her intent, it was to get a nice meal. And what's crazy is that she even said something like, I'm not even dressed for Cheesecake Factory. I'm dressed for a 5-star restaurant. And I'm looking, and I don't like to tear anybody down. So may I speak
But
freely?
yeah, I want you to speak on this because a lot of ladies, men, we don't know all things with makeup and all that, but a lot of ladies got on her appearance. So I'm gonna let you breathe on that. Go ahead.
She is a beautiful woman. However, your dress probably costs no more, at best $20 Fashion Nova, maybe 30 without a sale.
Mhm.
You had these braids in, they're lovely on you. You had purple lipstick on, or some kind of, it just, in my opinion, that's not even the way people dress at a 5-star restaurant. So I just want to just park it there, because I'm like, okay, you say you're dressed 5-star, but your cleavage is all out. It's giving chain restaurant vibes, and it's definitely giving bar vibes. So I don't know. What do you think about that?
That was my thing. I couldn't, some people's getting on her makeup and all that and all that. And I just felt like, yeah, out here in Vegas, there's some very nice spots. And she seemed, I'll say the word, she seemed very casual dressed. And it seemed like, yeah, Cheesecake Factory seemed about right. And it struck me the way she said, somebody that looks like me. And so when she said that, God bless you for confidence if you have it. And,
Right.
and I felt like, well, somebody then told her that apparently she's above cheesecake status. I don't know who told her that, and if she wants to believe it, that's fine. But the connotation that, and so let's touch on what you talked about a little earlier.
Yeah.
This is her video. This is not like he was like, y'all, I can't believe this woman didn't want. She took the video as if we were all gonna be on her side, like we was gonna look at her and be like, "Child, that's
No.
a steakhouse woman right there." Because she was like, "Y'all, guess what is happening in real time," and that kind of blew me away. Like she really expected us to,
Subscribe.
yeah, when again it looked like the gentleman is trying to be nice. He's going around to open the door for her.
Yeah.
He's paying for the date. I posted something a couple of days ago. I was being a little messy, like how you tell us the places you want to go and won't go on a date, and ain't nobody even asked you out yet. Because I heard a lot of talk from a lot of folks that ain't seem like they seen the inside of a wing stop in a while.
Right.
A
Right.
lot of noise, but it goes further. So let's talk then on the next level, because the climate now seems so gender war. Like men are doing this and women are doing this, and we're clashing. And as much as people kind of came together on this, it still seems like it fans the flames a little bit. Angie, do you feel like the gender wars are real, and are they worse than ever? I'm gonna ask you those two things.
They're definitely worse than ever. And I think it all is rooted from rejection, bad experiences. Everyone is hypercritical, hyper defensive, hyper self-protectant, like, these days and age, because it is sad. And I thought about this earlier today. I was thinking, she's like, I want you to spend all this money on me, which is great if you are in a relationship, then the expectation kind of rises, right? But if you are in the dating world, you got to look at it from a man's perspective as well. If he's dating, that means he's probably dating multiple people to find the right fit, as the woman should, in my opinion. I do believe women should date multiple people. I know people maybe don't get upset that I said that, but I think you're limiting yourself when you're just hyper focused on one person. But let's do the math here. If he's taking 2 to 3 women out every month or 4 times a month, that's going to add up to at least a couple hundred, at least $500, $600 a month, easy. So that's not, to me, that's not worthy of an investment. Not that the woman's not worthy of an investment, but that's the money you should be spending once you narrow down who you want to be with. But I just, these gender wars is sad because I feel like it's all, and then we have all these different influencers who are fanning the flames, and it doesn't make it any better. So I don't know. What do you think?
Well, see, my thing is too, what I don't like is men and women, I feel like, are living vicariously through like one person's trauma. I feel like one person had a bad date, and then a bunch of people will, one dude will be like, man, this girl was gold digging, such and such. And then like 10 brothers will be like, yep, see, gold digging women. It's like, fam, that didn't even happen to you. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Or like one woman had a bad date, and all these women will chime in like, see, that's how these men be. And I always be like, but did this happen to you? Because if it did,
Right.
why are y'all piling on the negative when there's so many other positive things? And that drives me crazy, because if it's not your experience, then don't paint everybody with a broad brush. And even if it is your experience, okay, you had a bad day. Everybody's been on a bad day. All right.
Yes.
That
Wait a
doesn't.
minute. Can we park there? What's your worst date ever? And
Ooh,
what made it the worst?
let's see. Yeah, let me think. Um, well, okay, I'll put it like this. This honestly was not a date, but I took somebody out that I didn't even was not even it wasn't even like that. I took somebody out, and then they brought somebody else with them when I took them out trying to be nice.
That is hilarious.
Like, man, and it was two females. And so when it got time to pay, I'm just like, anyway, so yeah, so that was something I can remember for sure. You got a bad date experience?
I do. I couldn't wait to hightail it out of there. Like, and it wasn't that he chose the wrong place. The place was nice. It was I'm a conversationalist. So if that conversation is not there, I'm out of there. But he just was, he started asking me about myself, and he's like, I want my woman to be, and he's talking like this. I want my woman to be like this and be home at 8 o'clock. And I need my woman. I don't want her working. And it just went left, like the expectations, and then just the forcefulness. He was hyper aggressive, and not aggressive in a manly way, like aggressive in a scary. It was scary. So that was probably like the only worst date I've ever had. It just was, yeah, the conversation was a little heavy, a lot of heavy. And I just, yeah. So
That's interesting. I think he must have really felt comfortable around you to just take it there. Like, man, that was the first date.
that was the first date. And wait a minute, this is because I want to tie this into something else that what we're talking about. He started taking pictures of me at the table,
Oh,
like pulled out his phone
fellas, don't
and
do
is
that. Yeah, don't.
taking pictures. And I didn't realize he was doing it until like the flash went off. So
Oh,
I said, "What are you doing?" He's like, I'm just taking pictures so I can remember this moment and all these different things." And then it scared me, because what are you doing with those pictures?
right.
Like, are you going to post them? Like, where's this going? This is the first date, which brings me into my point with the young lady. She pulled out her phone in the middle of a car and goes live. Like, how do you feel about phones, pulling out phones on dates, going
Listen,
live, taking pictures, first dates?
it's gonna sound weird because I have a podcast, but I'm very private with stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, don't do that. Don't. We're not gonna talk about this, but there's like a situation. I just saw something where like an NBA player, his wife told him she's got an OnlyFans account, and he didn't know about it. And she's like going live recording his reaction. It's a mess. See, I don't do that stuff. Like,
Yeah.
we can still have private moments. Not everything has to be broadcast out. Like, there's a certain place for it, like this, but I don't like to put private things out there, and to whip out a phone and start recording or taking somebody. That's totally inappropriate. And side note, I do love your impression of this guy, the voice you keep saying.
That's how he sounded. It was scary. You gonna be my woman. And it's just like, oh gosh. Like,
Yeah, I want to meet him just to hear him talk. But
yeah.
okay, so I said we wouldn't, but let's talk about really quick. So then, is a coffee date a date? Now, this is something also that sprung out with the gender wars, to where and let me say my piece first, because people were like, if you take somebody out for coffee, you really don't think highly of them, or you're not putting in any time to the date because it's just coffee, it's Starbucks or Coffee Bean or whatever. That ain't no thing. Now, I said this. I said that I would not take a woman out for a coffee date on a casual date. I would take a woman out to brunch for a coffee date. And I said, before everybody start clapping, understand something right now. The only reason I'm not taking somebody on a coffee date is because I don't drink coffee. Okay? So don't be like, oh, Monty likes me better than Greg do because Monty took me to brunch and Greg only took me to coffee. No, no, no. Brunch is my coffee. Okay? Don't think I feel no better than you than Greg, and you might miss your blessing clowning Greg. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? So that's my thing, is not that, some people just don't like coffee. I've been on a coffee date. A woman invited me out for coffee. And you know why? Because she is a coffee addict. I didn't know this, but I found out coffee is her love language, apparently. I didn't even get nothing to drink or have anything. We just talked. But she invited me on one. So I'm going to leave it there.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Yes.
So how do you feel about a woman asking you out on a date? Does that change your perspective on her? And then two, like, since you don't drink it, how effective was that date?
Well, I'll put it like this. It was not like aggressive, like, okay, I want you to come out with me. It was just kind of casual. Like, man, let's, and because here's the thing that I do subscribe to. Because some people are like, well, you can just text people, or you just talk on the phone. I like to actually speak to people in person. I feel like you really get a sense of who they are. And to not know somebody that well, I was cool with it. She kind of suggested it, like, oh, let's get some, it wasn't like anything I paid, you know what I'm saying? But we did get to talk in person, so it was cool. Like, I prefer that, because some people are just like texting, and you can get to know somebody per se. You can text all day, or even FaceTime. But it's like when you sitting down with somebody, sitting across from them, talking, I prefer that. So it wasn't really like an aggressive thing. She just suggested, and again, she's getting coffee all the time, so she felt comfortable. I was like, cool. And I didn't need to get nothing, because to me, again, that first experience is about getting to know somebody. So are you for coffee dates or not?
Oh, okay. If you would have asked me this 5 or 6 years ago, I would have said absolutely not. But now,
why would you say that? What would you say that back then?
Because, and okay, so I'm going to cross-reference this video versus what I'm getting ready to say. I was taught that if a man takes you out for coffee, he's a cheapo. He's trying to be cheap, and you're a woman of value. We don't do coffee, blah, blah, blah. Not because I'm just like, coffee's beneath me. I'm a Starby Barbie. I love Starbucks. Like, you'll never go wrong with Starbucks, whether it's brunch, whether it's after the date, etc. Yeah. But now I prefer coffee dates. In that I would not be offended, because let me tell you why. Let me tell you the pros of a coffee date. The pros is, of course, the coffee. And then the two is, if you are not feeling the person or feeling the vibes, guess what? 30 minutes in, you're going to know, and you can wrap it up.
Thank you.
It's the new speed dating to me. It's just, my time is valuable. Your time is valuable. Let's not bore one another by going to dinner if it wasn't jumping at coffee.
Talking. Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing, is that's what the other side of it, people don't really, everybody wants this whirlwind romance, but yeah, if it's not really clicking, or you just maybe feel like friend zoning them, the coffee is, and I've learned now in a couple conversations I've had, like, a lot of professionals, even if it's not a romantic thing, people like to just meet me before work. Let's just go out and get some coffee real quick, because the same thing, whatever that occasion is for, you always got that out, like, I got to go to work. You know what I'm saying? So it's not all day. So it might be brunch before work. I just found out a lot of professionals are doing it breakfast before work, whatever.
Yes.
Get it in. And then, listen, y'all, if it goes well, then yeah, we'll meet.
Right.
Because here's the thing. Now, let me ask you this. I heard a woman say this. She said, I don't want my first date to be at Cheesecake Factory, because I feel like if we really hit it off, we're never going to go no place better than that. And it's just going to be no further than cheesecake, which I vehemently disagree with. But what do you feel like? Okay, that first place he takes me to, since it's the first day he's really trying to impress me, is never going to get any better than that. And maybe that's why women aren't feeling it or people aren't feeling it. What do you think about that?
I disagree with that. And I kind of feel sorry for the person that said that, because to me, that sounds like maybe some things that she's experienced in the past. It sounds like it could be, sometimes when we go through, the esteem thing, she's had bad experiences. So that's why she's, she might be saying that. But I think it's the opposite. I think if it starts off at the Cheesecake Factory, he sees how much of a great time you are, you're enjoying him, he's going to he's going to like you even more. And so when a man likes you, he's going to invest his time and his resources into you, and he's going to always want to impress you. So yeah, we're starting off at Cheesecake Factory, but here we are 3 dates in. Yeah, you might have gone to Cheesecake Factory, Longhorn, I'm throwing out random restaurants, Red Lobster. But after Red Lobster, he's like, yo, I really like her, and he's knocking off the other girls that he's dating. Now he's putting all his resources into, oh, let's go to Ruth's Chris this time. I want to keep her around because I like her, I value her. I don't know. What do you think about that as a man? Like,
No, I totally agree. And I said to her, I said, listen, let's say you hit it off. And first of all, let's say that first date, he took you to the Four Seasons and y'all had $200 steaks and stuff. Let's say y'all really hit it off. I was like, do you really think 11 years into marriage and 3 kids, and it's anniversary time, like sometimes y'all doing what y'all got to do. Like every meal ain't going to be this by y'all making it. If you really think this is the one, like not
right.
3 couples sometimes thought, it's just a Tuesday night. We just going to DoorDash this fam and get us some Wendy's. I mean, I'm just saying, like, you want to make a good impression, but just because he takes you one place does not mean this is your destiny for the rest of y'all lives. Y'all never going to go to a place, the Cheesecake Factory. I totally disagree. But that does bring me to one more thing. Let me put it like this. They started ranking chain fact because there's a lot of chain, Ruth's Chris is a chain, y'all. It's like,
yes, it is. People don't know that.
There's Lowry's. There's a lot of nice chain factories. Yes. But is Cheesecake Factory above like an Applebee's or a Chili's or Olive Garden? I feel like it is.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. I don't think every chain restaurant is created equally, first of
all.
No. And I feel like Cheesecake Factory is above Applebee's or Chili's, or no shots fired, because
no shots.
Fine, but if I was taking somebody to a restaurant, like I said, in that scenario where like we met on a Tuesday and I said, let's go out that Saturday, I think I wouldn't take them to Applebee's. I would take them to Cheesecake Factory because, again, I don't know a whole lot about you. I will get to know. Now, somebody I got to know, let's say we text for a month, then I would take them probably someplace better because I got a feel for it. But listen, man, I don't want to take you to no $100 steakhouse and you a vegan and now, okay.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We messing up, you know what I'm saying? But you got to get time to know somebody. But then they were arguing like all chain restaurants are created equally. And I was like, I definitely
don't. No, not at all. I disagree.
Listen, even if you said, Angie, like, I like seafood, I'm probably not going to go Red Lobster. I mean, I know church folk, calm down. I do like Red Lobster.
They're going to get you. They're going to get you.
But once you say you like seafood, there's a couple places I would take somebody other than Red Lobster. But, there is what it is. Unless you just got a whole thing for cheddar biscuits, then fine. I don't think it's any big deal. But as we close on this, so we kind of established our ranges and things and what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. But where would you is there a place you'd really like to go for a first date if a person said, money's no object, and there's another thing. Okay, real quick. I'm going to say this one and the last one. Are you comfortable with the man picking the date, or what if he asks you? Because I heard this got contentious a little too. Like, I want the man, just do it, be a man, pick it. And then other people, no, I ain't just going any kind of place. You need to tell me where, you need to consult with me. Like, what is your stance on that?
I'm going to be 100% honest with you, because my line of work and me being in business, I am constantly making decisions all day, every day. So when a man, just tell me when to be ready. Okay. And then you don't even have to tell me where, because I'm going to bring my flats. If I'm wearing heels, I'm going to put my flats in my purse or in the back seat of your car. So
Mm.
that way, if we are walking, if we're running, I don't care what we're doing. I would just rather, like, he can't go wrong if he organizes the entire night.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not complaining about anything. If anything, I'm going to appreciate it. Down till we go to the movies, you pick the movie.
Yeah. Okay. See, that's the thing about it. It got weird because they started going back and forth, and I'm like, well, I thought y'all like guys to plan dates and things like that, and so I would take that initiative just to plan the date again, do the best I can. But okay, so my last question is, he says, money's no object. If you know it, let's say you got a baller, you know what I'm saying? Wherever you would go, is there a place in this country that you really be like, this is my ultimate restaurant for a first date? Do you have a spot?
Does it have to be a restaurant?
No, or whatever you know, it does not. Nope.
Okay, I'll give you two scenarios. So I absolutely want to go to a Lakers game.
Oh,
Like, I would love, love, love to go to a Lakers game. Floor seats if money is no object.
woo, let's go.
Right. That's, I mean, if money's no object. And then, like, if it's a restaurant, someplace where it's just has a nice view. I'm big on a view. So it doesn't have to necessarily be 5 star. But I saw something on Instagram where you eat in the air.
Oh, okay.
Have you seen that?
You talking about the restaurant? Oh no, I know what you're talking about. Yes, I saw that. I saw that. That was crazy.
That would be kind of dope.
How-
Or eat with your feet in the water. Like, that would be kind of dope. Something that has not been done before that you can't get on an everyday basis would be dope.
I get you.
But
You know what? What's fun. Are you a Lakers fan? Or are you just like?
I am. I'm always an MJ Michael Jordan fan forever, but Lakers are my second favorite team.
That's funny because I would probably take a woman to a basketball game. That would not be a first date. That'd probably be once we're dating, because my only thing is, if I take you to the basketball game, we probably not going to talk very much because I'm very competitive and I'm going to be totally into the game. Now, that's why, ladies, a great sporting event is baseball, because baseball is very slow. You got plenty of time to talk. Like, that's a good first date. You could talk all day, but like hoop, I'm like, I'm totally like, yeah, what's going on? Oh man, I get hyped. So that would, for me, I'm just saying, for me, that would be an in the relationship date. But I took a woman to a sporting event, it would probably be baseball, just because there's so much time to talk. There's hardly any action. It's nice, it's fun. There's a lot of people there. It's outdoors, it's nice, but hoop gets me hyped watching basketball. But I think if I had to pick something creative now, see, I'm stumping myself now because I wasn't even prepared for that. But a creative date, man, there's a lot of stuff here in Vegas to do as well. And something I like was not that creative, but I do love museums. I like to
Oh yeah.
go to places, learn stuff, especially some places I haven't been. And that's the thing about it. Whatever it is, I would like it to be something I haven't done either.
Oh, that would be dope. Yeah.
Doing something that I've done, that's cool. But like when we can both experience whatever it is, I've done a paint and sip, so I really wouldn't do that again. But I would do it, but not for first date. But something where I can
Why
experience.
didn't you like the paint and sip? Like, what was it about it that wasn't your thing?
No, I didn't say I didn't like it. I just said I've done it before, but the thing is, it didn't go great because I'm not good at painting. I'm a terrible.
Neither am I.
Good at any arts and crafts. It was a hot. It was bad. But just if we had that shared first time experience, something like that. And I love museums. I love learning stuff. Something like that is probably what I would do to really, and then someplace nice to eat. But yeah. So anything else, Angie? Anything else? You had any other thing?
I did have one more thing.
Yeah.
I was reading something the other day, and the person with the relationship expert was talking about compromise, and especially in the dating field. How willing or how important do you think it is for, like, how do you feel about compromise? Like, we have our deals and our no deals. Like, this is a non-negotiable. How far should one negotiate in dating, in your opinion?
That's so you're saying on the first date or just in general with dating?
Let's just say with the first date.
Well, that's the thing, that where it really does depend on how well you know that person. Because
Yeah.
this is what I said too. Because some people were like, I won't go here, such and such. But I said again, from my scenario where you haven't met them that long, if a person is willing to take you out on their dime,
Yeah.
you know, and they don't know much about you, then you might have to just try that Indian food, or you might have to just go out to the state. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you give them a chance to get to know you first, and then a month into it, then you can kind of say some things like, you know, well, you know, okay, we should go out for a date, but you know, like I don't eat meat, or you know, I'm allergic to whatever it is and stuff like that. But if you're in that scenario with the lady, they were their first date, and you know, he's taking her Cheesecake Factory and he's paying for it. I feel like it's kind of rude. If you're agreeing to go, like, then just don't go. If
Right.
you're agreeing to go with somebody, you kind of have to rock with them. Now, if it's something with Dutch, which I don't feel like that should be, I feel like, you know, if we go in Dutch, then you got all the say in the world. Putting in on this too. But I think again, that leeway of how long have we known each other, you know, that I just, like I said, I meet you at the gym and say, hey, you know, I'd love to take you out Saturday, you free. Then if you agree, you kind of got to rock with me for whatever.
Right.
Once we know each other, you definitely get to kind of, you know, put your say in it as well, you know, even if I'm paying, because it's like, you know,
Right.
I'll put it like this. The first date I went on a person with when I was in a relationship, it was kind of a chance meeting. It was kind of a setup meeting when we met. So I was not prepared at all to go out. But because we met and we kind of hit it off, I said, man, let's take her out. And the place we went, and the reason why I even chose the place we went, I didn't know where she was coming from. I didn't know where she lived.
Okay.
I didn't want to have to drive a long place. I'm like, well, so okay, let me just, place is not that far. We went there, we had a great time, and then we started a date. And months into the date, I said, hey, we should go back to the spot we first went to. And she was like, absolutely not. And I said, why? She said, I hate that place. I was like, oh, really? I said, well, why'd you go? She said, well, I just, you know, I wanted to be nice. You know, you take
That's
me
nice of her to
to
do
know
that.
you. I said, man, that's really cool. I didn't know. And we never, the rest of the time we never went to that spot.
Oh.
Again, she knew I was trying to be nice. I was taking her out. I was paying. Even though she didn't like the place, she never gave me any indication that she didn't. So I thought that was cool. So that's what I, you know, what are your thoughts on the compromise then?
I think it is important to give something, like I told you about the like some dating experiences. If I don't necessarily hit it off with them the first time, I'm more, they ask again, then I'll go out a second time just to see, rather than just say, oh, this is not working, blah, 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 blah. But I think a little compromise is nice. And actually, I've done the same thing, like where it wasn't a restaurant I necessarily liked per se, but because I was with him, I'm like, oh, I'm just going to find something on here. We're going to have a good time. So kudos to that woman that did that, because that's how you handle that.
Yeah.
I think if the girl in the video, she would have put her phone down, found something on the Cheesecake Factory menu, then maybe later on when he asked her out on a second date, maybe give him some feedback or some kind of direction. I felt like that would have been more appropriate, but yeah.
And to see it, and we about to end, because back on her one more time. It was just the fact that she felt she was above the Cheesecake Factory.
Mm-hmm.
Fam, they got 1,000 things on the menu. There's something you can eat at the Cheesecake Factory. Come on, you ain't go to KFC. Come on now.
Right.
She really felt like Cheesecake Factory is beneath me. Okay, really, lady? So what are you eating on the regular? Like, what are you
eating on the regular?
Come on now, let's not do that. But I thought that was, and the thing was, shout out to the dude, because if that was real, he took it in stride. He was very nice.
He was a sweetheart.
Yes, I heard some brothers be like, she would have been walking home.
I don't even think about that.
I ain't going that far. I would not.
I don't want to think about that.
I would not leave. Here's what I said though, Angie. Here's what I said, and I definitely got to end on this. Now, I didn't get the full backstory, but apparently she was already late, and he maybe had some other spot.
Yes.
Because she made him wait an hour, he had to kind of scramble, so he chose Cheesecake Factory. So let me tell you something right now. Let me tell you this right to the camera. Look here. If you making me an hour late, and she ain't really had no good reason why we was an hour late, and we pull up to the Cheesecake Factory and you don't want to get out the car, Cheesecake Factory is beneath you and I got to take you home, guess what you're going to do? You're going to wait a good while for me to get my to-go food. And
I know that's right.
You're going to sit right here in this car. I ain't going to leave you. You ain't got to Uber home. I'm gonna take you home, but I'm gonna get my mozzarella sticks and I'm gonna get my shrimp scampi, and you're gonna rate right while I order it and get my food. Because ain't no way.
Right, ain't no way.
All right, y'all. This has been a show. So good to get a woman's perspective. Angie, of course, has been on the show many times. If you follow us, you know Angie Perrin. But check us out. I'm ashamed. Angie got the name, she got the @ all in there.
Stop.
Ain't ready to play. I was like, I ain't got.
You have a nice background too. I love what you're doing with the place, with the
studio. Yeah, but yeah, Angie, when you come through town, because you have never been in studio, we got to get you in the studio.
I know that would be so dope.
Yes, because I want more in studio guests, but we do what we can do, and we have fun even on Zoom. But guys, check us out again. Please like, subscribe to the show. We get rolling. I got some more. I got a couple more hot topics. I got another guest coming on later in the week, but this will probably come out. This is actually Halloween. We're taping this, so it'll probably be out tomorrow. But yeah, I got to get going for these kids start knocking on my door.
Yes.
Appreciate it, Angie. Thank you for coming on, guys. Thank you guys for watching. You always know what to do, man. Please be safe out there. All right. Trust God.
Yes.
And give somebody a shot. Just, we don't have to be so rigid with the gender wars and all that. But, let's just try to be nice. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to get out the car. Just go to Cheesecake.
Get out the car.
Okay. All right. All right, guys. Be blessed. Stay sharp.
Bye.
And I'll see you, Angie.
See you.